Hey everybody, Dan here, and today we're going to do the long-awaited Shirakumo Oboro video. So, before we get started, you know exactly what I'm going to ask you. Please subscribe and hit the bell. So, first things first, Shirakumo Oboro at this point in the story is a student at UA, and throughout his education he became close friends with certain students that we now know to be as heroes. Who, you may ask? Midnight, Present Mike, and of course, his best friend Shouta Aizawa, Eraserhead. Now, in the actual manga of My Hero Academia, he hasn't made an appearance. He's referenced in a very vague conversation involving Shinzo, but in the Vigilantes manga, he's one of the main characters of the Eraserhead origin arc. He takes on the hero named Loud Cloud, reflecting his boisterous personality. His quirk is aptly named Cloud, and his name in fact actually means White Cloud. With his quirk, he creates a cloud that will listen to his commands by condensing the air around him. Additionally, one of his special abilities is called Cloud Cover, which enables him to take the air around him, condense it into a thick cloud, and prevent massive amounts of incoming damage. Cloud is a technical quirk. It's a lot like Mirio's Permeation or Eraserhead's Erasure, so long story short, this guy doesn't have a quirk like Todoroki. But because of his and Aizawa's hard work, they become a very good 1-2 punch. Whether it's creating distractions or creating a pair of underwear, Shirakumo has very good control for someone that can be considered rather inexperienced. He's able to even control the cloud enough to levitate and fly on said cloud. There is actually where I would say he draws parallels to Sun Wukong from Journey to the West. I mean, I guess you can also take this as a subtle nod to Goku, as Goku himself is actually based after the Monkey King Sun Wukong. With that all aside, let's get back to Oboro. He's a super kind and generous soul. He's the polar opposite in contrast to Eraserhead, who really tends to overthink everything that he's doing. He's a lot more impulsive. Like I previously stated in the Eraserhead video, Aizawa left a cat behind in the rain with his umbrella. Later on that day, Shirakumo showed up to class with Eraser's umbrella and the cat. Shirakumo had zero problem taking the cat. He even created a cute little cloud for it to sleep on during class. So if it means saving something or someone, he's all in, zero doubts. He has the dream of opening up a hero agency with his best friends Present Mike and Eraserhead. The three knuckleheads are great friends, and it's kind of upsetting to see that Deku doesn't have close friends like that. His closest friend calls him an idiot regularly. His journey to becoming a hero started when him and Aizawa went looking for a place to do their work study. They found out that Midnight is actually already operating in like a Mirio capacity, where she can actually suggest people to her hero, His Purple Highness. He's actually the JoJo hero that I was talking about previously in my Aizawa video. She suggests Oboro and Aizawa to him, and they begin their journey as heroes at his agency. See now, while at their study though, we see that Oboro shows sincere promise, while Aizawa tends to put himself in danger constantly because of his lack of experience and skill. And during the apprehension of their first villain, Aizawa panicking leads to the villain actually getting away. Though, later on, him and Aizawa get another chance to take down the villain. This is where we actually get to see Shirakumo use his gear, and most notably his quarterstaff and gourd that he uses to throw his voice and deceive enemies. Now, as for where he is in My Hero Academia, if you do not want to know, I suggest you turn back now because this part is going to contain spoilers. So during a fight, this villain's quirk begins to wreak catastrophe throughout the city. A nearby building is hit with a blast, and Shirakumo and Aizawa happen to be standing next to a bunch of children when the building begins to come tumbling down. Aizawa dodges disaster, and then inspiring words begin flying at him from Shirakumo's gourd. Eraserhead single-handedly deals with the titanic villain, and afterwards, it's revealed that Shirakumo actually chose to protect those children instead of himself during the initial blast. So the entire time, he was actually imagining Shirakumo's encouragement. What actually happened is the rubble came toppling down on top of Shirakumo, and unfortunately, Shirakumo made what people in comics would call the ultimate sacrifice, as we see Eraser and Present Mike standing around in absolute disbelief. Rain begins to pour over them, and the realization sets in that their best friend was gone. See, at this point, Aizawa and Present Mike, they're just students, and to parallel what a certain hero is actually teaching our boys right now in the My Hero Academia manga, there is not failing a test in the real world, there is only just losing your life. Shirakumo proved to everyone that day that he was willing to help others instead of himself, and unfortunately, it cost him his life. This moment in time became the start point for Eraser and Present Mike, as they learn what it means to truly be a hero, and it means one day you might have to make the decision for the needs of the many. Flashing forward to present time in Vigilantes, Shirakumo's death shows us why Eraser doesn't want to be a teacher under any circumstances. In My Hero Academia, he states to his own students, if you can't save yourself, you're unfit of being a hero. This is taking his personal pain of losing a friend and turning it into a learning lesson through an inconvenient truth. He feels guilty for not doing enough to save his friend, and in turn, what could he possibly do to help a new generation of heroes? He'd rather shrug off Midnight's suggestions. Though there's hope given to him by Koichi. As they stand there in the rain, we now know why this unpleasant memory played through Aizawa's head. Eraserhead sees Shirakumo in Koichi, and Eraserhead just sees Koichi as someone that's in over their head. Even though Eraser is currently a negative Nancy, when the rain stops and the arc ends, Eraserhead is forever a changed person, as Koichi helps him embrace Shirakumo's spirit. And he does this by finding a home for the stray cat that Eraserhead told him not to adopt. Aizawa walks off with the memory of Shirakumo in his head, but this time, a new goal has been ignited inside of his heart, becoming a teacher at UA. I think it's really awesome that we get to see Aizawa's decision to become a teacher in this chapter. It's pretty cool. And that does it for today's video. What do you guys think of Loud Cloud? I think that his charismatic personality really reflects me a lot as a person, but I was not expecting them to introduce such an amazing character and then have him ripped away from us pretty much only like 3 chapters later. The story in Vigilantes is so supplemental to My Hero, and it's straight up showing us how some of the heroes that we love and adore become the way that they are today. This one chapter elaborated so much about one line of dialogue between Present Mike and Eraser. We now know that when they are on screen with their students, they have Shirakumo's memory in constant playback, and when they have their own students, they see his eager face in every single student. We understand these characters, and we now know that they're more multifaceted than ever. Their decisions are actually based off defeat. It's why Eraserhead takes the mission so damn seriously. Reading character defining moments for some of our favorite teachers, that's what makes this universe so awesome. There isn't one character that doesn't feel important. But that's gonna do it for me, everyone. I'm gonna go grab a box of tissues because I can't believe just like that he's gone. I was actually expecting Shirakumo to have like a heel turn and him actually become a villain. I wasn't expecting him to get killed. Either way, we should start a discussion about Shirakumo because I really want him to appear in the anime to like an extent at least. So yeah, let's start that discussion down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe after you throw that comment down below. And this is Dan, signing off. Peace.